The Fallout games can be pretty weird, but honestly that's one of my favorite things about them, and so in today's video we're going to be comparing Fallout 3 from 2006 to Fallout 4 from 2015 just to see how they stack up against one another when it comes to attention to detail. Or any other wild comparison I can think of. So if you've ever wondered if a box of sugar bombs is bulletproof, you've come to the right place.
Not so close.
Well guys, welcome to yet another direct comparison video focusing on Fallout 3 versus Fallout 4. Two fantastic games that I love to compare with these direct comparison videos, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I've enjoyed making it for you guys. And if you're new to my channel, welcome to Live from my basement, where I make cool new videos like the one you're watching right now every single week. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future content. But guys, let's dive into the video. So with this comparison, I wanted to see if the sugar bomb cereal would stop a bullet. So I began in Fallout 3, and as you can see, it didn't stop the bullet, but he also didn't react, and nobody seems to be acting like I committed a crime. So I tested this again, and as you can see, bullets passing through sugar bombs aren't really an issue that people care about. So next I tested this in Fallout 4, and as you can see, the sugar bombs stopped the bullet, which is honestly kind of wild. This next comparison at completely normal settings, I wanted to see how many mini nukes it would take to take down a behemoth super mutant. But in my first attempt in Fallout 3, I was getting a little too close, and I paid the price. And in Fallout 3, as you can see, it clearly takes more than one, as the first mini nuke just simply knocked him on his back. But two is enough to get the job done. So next I tested this in Fallout 4, and as it turns out, it takes 3 mini nukes to take out a behemoth super mutant, which I found kind of interesting. So moving on now to the next bulletproof test, and with this one I wanted to test to see if actual power armor would stop a bullet, and as you can see here in Fallout 3, it did stop a bullet, but it did go flying as if it was pretty much weightless, which I thought was kind of interesting. So next I tested this in Fallout 4, and as you can see, it not only stopped a bullet, but it also didn't go flying, implying that it's actually got a little bit of weight to it, which is a nice touch. Now moving on to my next comparison, I wanted to see how your character would react to reaching full radiation, and as you can see here in Fallout 3, the more radiation I take, it fills up this radiation bar, leading to radiation sickness, but ultimately once it reaches the end, it just kind of kills you. So next I tested this in Fallout 4, and the water was taking a bit too long, so I went to a highly irradiated area, and as you can see, the more radiation I take, it actually lowers my health bar until ultimately it kills me. And since the radiation in Fallout 4 is lowering your total health, I feel like it's a bit more of a threat, as it probably should be. And with my next comparison, and at completely normal settings, I wanted to see if your character could withstand and survive a car explosion. And the first thing I noticed is that the little pre-explosion actually injured my character, but as you can see at the very end, I did survive, but am critically injured. So next I tested this in Fallout 4, and as you can see, I basically had the exact same results, which was surprising because I pretty much thought my character was done for. And with this next comparison, I wanted to see how power armor would react when shot with a flamethrower, and as you can see here in Fallout 3, it doesn't affect the power armor at all. Whereas in Fallout 4, whenever I tried this, you can actually see that the power armor is actually being burnt black, which is a pretty cool touch. And speaking of flamethrowers and power armor, I wanted to see if I stacked up power armor in front of an NPC, would it be able to stop the NPC from taking damage from my flamethrower? And as you can see here in Fallout 3, it absolutely does, which I was absolutely shocked by.
I hope you know what you're doing.
So moving on now to Fallout 4, and to my surprise, it works the exact same way in Fallout 4 as it does in Fallout 3. The NPC is completely unharmed, though the power armor, as I mentioned before, is now burnt black, which is wild. So you know how in Skyrim, whenever a giant hits you, he can send you up into the stratosphere? I wanted to test if a behemoth would hit me in Fallout, if you could get the same results. So starting with Fallout 3, whenever this behemoth hit me, it actually just decapitated me and didn't really send me very far. So I moved on to Fallout 4 and tested this exact same thing, and though I didn't get decapitated, it still didn't really throw me like the giants would in Skyrim, which is kind of a shame. So in Fallout 3, if I lay down a landmine and then shoot it, it will explode. But how does this work with a mini nuke? So I set up a mini nuke and I took a shot and it didn't do anything except fly away, which was disappointing.
Whoa, careful.
So next I tested this in Fallout 4, hoping for different results, but as you can see, it works the same way in Fallout 4 as it does in Fallout 3, which is kind of a shame because I wish it worked the way it did with landmines. So with my next comparison, I wanted to see what would happen if I jumped from a high place and landed in water. Would it actually cause damage to my character? And as you can see here in Fallout 3, I took no damage at all. And as you can see here in Fallout 4, I found a place to jump that was much higher than I did in Fallout 3, though the first time I jumped, I landed in water that was a little too shallow. So I tried again from a different angle, but this time it showed the water in Fallout 4 can hurt your character. So moving on now to a comparison of some of the water effects, and I wanted to see if a grenade explosion in the water would be any different than a mini nuke explosion in the water. And as you can see here in Fallout 3, the mini nuke's explosion in the water is a much larger splash than what we saw with the frag grenade. So next I tested this in Fallout 4, and as you can see, the mini nuke's explosion in the water is still much larger than what we saw with the frag grenade, though I'm kind of surprised that the splash effects don't look that much better than what we saw in Fallout 3. And now moving on to my next comparison, I wanted to compare the fire effects when shot from a flamer into the environment between the two games, and as you can see here in Fallout 3, the fire doesn't really affect the environment at all, and the flames just kind of disappear. Whereas whenever I tested this in Fallout 4, as you can see, the flames actually stick to the environment and actually catch the ground on fire. The flames also cause thick black smoke effects that go up into the sky, and honestly, they look pretty impressive. And speaking of fire, I wanted to see how your character would react to standing in fire between the two games. So in Fallout 3, as you can see, whenever you stand in fire, it doesn't have any effect on your character at all. And for the sake of variety, I tested this in a few different locations. But when I tested this in Fallout 4, to my surprise, the fire didn't affect my character in this game either, which is pretty surprising because fire damage is something we saw in older Bethesda games like Oblivion. And with my final comparison in today's video, I just wanted to compare the atomic explosion scene between the two games with Fallout 3's destruction of Megaton, which still looks pretty impressive even today, versus the atomic bombs we see going off in the opening of Fallout 4, which also look pretty impressive or horrible, depending on how you look at it.
Hold on!
Oh god, oh god!
Well guys, you made it to the end. Thank you for watching yet another direct comparison of Fallout 3 versus Fallout 4. Two fantastic games that are just so much fun to make these direct comparison videos with. I feel like every time I make a Fallout direct comparison video, I'm like, alright, it's going to be a while before I return to Fallout. And you know, I go off and I make a Halo video or a Call of Duty or an Elder Scrolls video. And then the next thing I know, either through my own notes or comments I get from you guys saying, you know, to make, compare these things in Fallout, the next thing I know, I'm back making another Fallout direct comparison video, and they're always so much fun to make, and I hope you guys enjoy watching them as much as I enjoy making them for you guys. But guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments, you know, what you thought of these comparisons, and as I just mentioned, let me know down in the comments what other comparisons you guys want to see. I look forward to reading those comments as always. But guys, that's all I have for this video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.